sure, but magic isn't real. Is it?
We watched Max and the Magician and the Rings and the Stones. What is it called?
It's called whatever.
Yeah, it's right there.
Max Magician is what we watched.
Yeah.
It's basically like a D movie. When we were considering watching it, we started watching the trailer because we weren't sure if we were, on board. Like the first thing they show is this really good prosthetic makeup.
It was like the old Hollywood trick, like let's put everything that is good within our movie into the trailer so that people will come and see our film. And we fell for it. We fell for it, Chris.
Some of the actors, particularly the villain, really hammed it up in a fun way.
Yeah. Every single time he would say something, it was almost like his period that he would end his sentence with. It was enunciating the period, like, I'm going to kill them, rah. Now I'm going to leave this castle, rah.
You're lying to me again, worm.
I swear it, my lord. He was practicing the magic?
Pretty good. It was a fun noise, and he kept doing it to express many different emotions.
And then it was interesting because you would have other special effect makeup that just didn't look like that they were finished. There was one guy.
The worm guy, yeah. Like in most of the scenes we see him in through most of the movie, it looks like it's half finished. It's like, okay, I see why they have a hood over his face, because he's definitely a couple steps down from the other people. But then we see him later, and he looks really good.
You know, someone who gets paid to kill you.
I've seen you here before.
That's the same guy. They just did more makeup on him this time.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the worm. They just finished his makeup.
So you're that guy,
What?
huh?
And I think it was because of the fact that it was in the cave so that they could hide it. That's why they put up the hood and they're like, oh, it's darker so maybe people won't notice. And then when he's actually out of the cave, like, oh, that looks really good. It actually looks well done. Like, good job on that. They kept on using caves that looked like they were from like Luray Caverns.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they shoot there legally, or they did like smuggle their things in?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the story of like a kid who knows how to read. Because that's what he does, right? I mean, he reads the book and magic spells happen.
Well, no, and he beats people with sticks.
Oh, that's true. That was an odd twist, I felt.
Usually with a kid's film, especially like this, and I think that's why it makes it more fun, is because usually in children's films, they're like, oh, the power was within you or something like that. Like, no, we use sticks. Like, usually that's the pivotal point in the film, where it's like, oh, I found a new power about myself. Like, no, use sticks.
Did we only enjoy it because we've been to the fair, we know a lot of the places it was shot, we know some of the people in the film, like, did that color our experience more than the average moviegoer?
It wasn't even there that much, the Maryland Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, it was like maybe 20% of the scenes or something. Yeah, we watched the beginning of it on YouTube, and it has this really cheesy effect where like, they basically toss this magical scroll into the frame, and then they have a few like really basic green like sparkle effects to suggest that it's been magicked into existence. And then we're like, wow, okay, that's kind of funny that they did it so cheaply. But then when we bought it on Amazon and we watched it there, and it's like white sparkles.
Yeah. It felt like the George Lucas edition where the director said, no, it's not perfect yet. And then he revisited it 10 years later and
fulfill my vision.
You need to put Windows Media Player because now they just updated it and it's gotten all these amazing effects.
A lot of the dialogue with Mr. Tim seemed...
Oh, that's right! We gotta talk about Mr. Tim!
It felt like it was maybe tongue-in-cheek intended to be read as like...
pedophilia?
Pedophilic?
Max runs away from bullies and then he goes to this old man and, automatically you assume this is his friend.
Or his grandpa, maybe.
Old man doesn't know who he is.
Is it?
No, it's
Hey,
no.
Mr. Tim, do you know karate or something? I need to kick his teeth in.
What are you assuming he knows?
Violence isn't always the answer, son.
It is just a random person.
But maybe we can come up with something, a little bit more imaginative.
Oh,
I'll show you.
This isn't going the direction I thought it would go.
I'd like to think it was like intentionally a humorous, like...
Adult joke.
Yeah, like...
Because that's exactly what it felt like. Like, come over with me. I got lots of fun things to do. Like, they couldn't have written those lines and thought to themselves, like, oh, there's nothing wrong about this.
This is totally innocent.
Yeah. There's no way an adult wrote those lines and said, this is innocent.
But then later, they do establish that the parents knew Mr. Tim. Because they call him on the phone or something?
Hello? Hi, Tim.
Yeah, he made it
Whoa.
okay.
They do know Tim.
Well, you know I've been on him to make friends.
Like at the beginning, when he has the scroll's like being narrated by the princess, I guess, just as a voiceover. It keeps cutting to the animals it makes it seem like the animals are talking, which is like, what? Why are these animals?
Well, yeah, and I think that was just a poor choice.
No, it was foreshadowing because both those animals do talk.
Wow. Okay, so wait, there's actually like some artistic value placed in this film.
It had a lot of music too, like they
had budget Enya.
Yeah.
Is this budget Enya in the background?
They run into all these problems where they have to go find someone that they know. So like, I want a black horse for my villain. Like, well, I don't have a black horse. Like my cousin Ted, like he's got a brown horse. Like, okay, we'll use that. And then like Jimmy, he has some costumes. Oh, and he also works at the Renaissance Fair. Like, okay, let's get access to that.
Yeah, or I know Bob, he has a music licensing company that has like a bunch of independent music artists.
Right at the very end, you see all of the credits, and it's just all of these different titles for the film. And it's just for the music.
Right, so like the music sounds, at many moments it sounds like a higher production quality than you'd expect from a cheap movie, but then it's because like obviously it wasn't written for this movie. It was like, they licensed it somewhere, which is fine. Like I think they actually put an impressive amount of like detail into certain things. Like all the audio is ADR or Foley, which is actually much better than you might expect for a cheap movie like this, which you'd expect them just to like use the camera microphone to record everything.
Yeah.
So like it's actually, they put some effort into it. But then you have like the Halloween store elf ears.
Oh, and then there's like one of the maidens has on a costume that looked like that it's straight out of the Spirit Halloween catalog.
So there was some inconsistency. I feel like they had a budget and they spent it on the makeup.
We gotta talk about that one scene when the evil guy is talking to the queen. They're having that conversation, and then out of nowhere, he just kills her.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god! Wow!
You and your ring.
Okay, that was good. That was good. I wasn't expecting that at all.
After that, he like kidnaps her. And it's kind of ambiguous whether she's dead or not, but she doesn't appear to be. It's just he brings her back to the cave. And then the king brings some like soldiers to the cave. And then there's kind of a scene where you'd expect like, either you must give my queen back or we will go to war, which is what he says. And you'd expect that to be like, war it is then, is the conclusion. But the bad guy is just like,
I will fight you to the death for her return.
Now, hold on a second.
well, they even hand wave it away with the princess backstage. Like, why are you fighting anyway? She's like, oh, it's too much. It's too long of a story to tell.
Yeah, it's difficult to make a fantasy film low budget actually entertaining. So you kind of get the same effect with Cats, whereas you can't make that into a film. So you just take it for what you are given, which is just kind of corny fun. Yeah. And I do think that we did get more enjoyment out of it just because it was made in areas that we are familiar with.
Yeah, and like I don't think a higher budget would have really made this movie much better.
No, the script sucks.
Yeah, so like I feel like it was just a silly script and they had a little fun with it and it's just a fun little movie. There's tons of really boring B movies that are just not fun. They might have like one or two fun moments or something. This is kind of a mixed bag. It's okay. It's
not entertainingly bad, it's just it's there. So Chris, was this the best of the
last three movies we watched? It was better than Sonic.
Yeah. Was it better than Cats?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Cats won.
Yeah. Everyone else is pretty dull, I thought.
Yeah.
They don't really have much to do, I guess, but...
No, like they had some, whoa!